Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Zwift Community Live broadcast of the Zwift Racing League. We're in with round number 1, and this is the Americas that we are broadcasting. We're in with Americas East for the ladies. It is America's East Division 1As, and we will also be in with the men's toward the end of the race. We're going to focus in on the ladies a lot, though, out here today, and it is rolling. Highlands, if you missed your European broadcast, make sure to go back and check that out. There was really action-packed. We had a couple of breakaways stick, a lot of very high-end sprints as well, so it's pretty exciting. I'm Nathan Guerra. Dave Towle is next to me. If you're new to the broadcast, we hang out here and talk about all things Zwift racing when it comes to the Zwift Racing League on Tuesdays, and you can head over to zwiftpower.com to see everything that we do broadcast, as well as over WTRL.racing. They like to tell you all about what we're broadcasting too. Dave, it's been a lot of fun today. I've had a lot of excitement jumping back into the broadcast with you.
It has been incredible, hasn't it? I just so love this community. And you talked about the quality of the racing. It was the best we've ever seen. So here we go. 6 races. First time we've ever had a scratch race. It's just point to point today. So it was really interesting. One rider, like how about your partner, Guerra, today? That was the solo breakaway. There were a couple others that were not individual riders, but small groups. That being said, this course is lighting it up out there. So 3 laps, there is a 5.1 kilometer lead in to get them into the laps proper. The power-ups, I mean, who would have thought the burrito would have seen this second life, second act that it's having? But there's been a lot of retooling. Pack Dynamics 4.1, Nathan, that has been awesome, spot on. It looks like all of the engineers involved in that really critical gameplay element have gotten as close as we've ever seen to the realism that you have in racing out there. So yeah, here we go. Expect 2 great races.
100%. Let's jump right down into it, Dave. As the riders are out on course, the ladies actually have attacks already throwing down. And who is it? Right at that moment, Dave, that we go to broadcast, none other than Kolchinski off the front 4. Virginia Blue Ridge 2024. Morris is trying to chase that down. I've seen Angela Roberts from Aeonian. She's been racing in real life plenty. The rider out of the West Coast there, USA, looking to go across, and she's got the kick on her. Can she hang on to Kolchinski's wheels? Going to be the question. I wonder if Angela Roberts has been working also on her FTP a little bit, because if you're going to try and hang on with the likes of Kristen Kolchinski, who just absolutely dominated a recent mountain climbing race, actually. This girl can go all day long. Robert's going to jump on that wheel. We got 2 up front, Dave. This could be what we talked about in the European broadcast, a 2 up off the front. Can they hold on? I think that if there's any 2 that could do it, Kolchinski at the front, she might be able to do it on her own, but Roberts here as a little addition, or perhaps she's been doing some work over the summer.
This is huge for Angela Roberts, no doubt. Her Aeonian team was phenomenal. We can talk about that during this broadcast. Remember that one, Nathan? Right behind Guerra. They swept 2nd, 3rd, and 4th to take the top team spot of the day. So good on Angela Roberts, as she's clearly leveling up. Yeah, Mount Greylock was the climb that Kolchinski won on. Instead of doing she'd been doing more and more Strava, outdoor in real life. One of the coolest stories on Zwift, if you look at her progression and trajectory. And she did it her way, which I really like. Obviously, Josh Lipka deserves a pat on the back for being a tremendous supporter and getting her out there on that Mount Greylock time trial and winning. And that's cool to see riders taking the fitness and the confidence that they've learned on Zwift or really gained on Zwift. This is Rachel Lieberman, one of the best climbers out here, Nathan. She's out of Seattle on this ATP team. I'm going to be watching for her today. She'll be an impact racer.
Definitely an impact racer. And if there's anybody who can drag this back together, it is going to be Lieberman, who heads to the front there, 4.6 watts per kilogram. Roberts, though, now I saw a little bit of a punch from Roberts just a moment ago, trying to stay on the wheel. It looks like at 176 beats per minute. And now backing off to 1.0. So she needs a rest. You can tell. Kolchinski, though, backing off.
That's amazing. So Angela Roberts is taking poles, or at least coming through. That's interesting. Maybe is Kolchinski not playing with her, but trying to get? Well, she pulled the pin,
I think she saw what was coming, and that's M. Nyquist. Nyquist from Riot now, over the top. Smith as well, and Nyquist. She's been doing the work as well, Dave, and she's got a feather power up. And I know you know who's sitting in the DS seat for them. it's going to be none other than Anna Russell. And if Anna Russell has been watching, she knows exactly what to do in this situation. If the strongest rider from the rival team has been off the front, demolishing herself, you counter as hard as you possibly can. And that's what Nyquist, Smith, and it looks like as well as Brooke are up to, but Kolchinski jumps right back on the wheel.
Kolchinski counterattacking herself, to be honest. That's how good she is, as Riot clearly has a plan, and I like it. I love the fact that they're being aggressive. You nailed it, Nathan, as far as if Kolchinski wants to extend herself and make a big effort, if you can catch her on the back end of that effort, that's the only time you're going to find her a little bit exposed out here. And I don't even know that there really is a chink in her armor, but she is one woman on that 2024 team, which has been absolutely crushing it in real life out here as well. She's got some strong teammates. As a matter of fact, a new teammate, the Swiss rider, Catherine Furr, is now riding with Virginia Blue Ridge 2024. Madeline Kuntz as well on the squad with Jennifer, or excuse me, those are the two that I really want to highlight, as Naomi de Pennington is another one of the riders out of the United Kingdom on that squad. But they are putting some riders in trouble here, Nathan.
Yeah, it looks like Aeonian putting a little bit of an effort into here to get back on terms. Motors as well from OTR. Cinderella's here, OTR with Ward. Now also able to get back on terms with this. These attacks have been going off the front. I'm absolutely loving the new On the Rivet kit. Look at this thing. Good colors all around. You're going to start seeing this kit, I think, all over the front end of this race, as we do see. It looks like Bishop there too. And Sarah Bishop, she's one that can get off the front of any race and be a danger woman. So watch out for her. But Riot, ATP, OTR, and VBR 2024, that seems to be the situation here on the front end. Aeonian as well, of course. So that is the situation. All the big hitters showing up America's East for the ladies.
They didn't retool the feather power up, but they did do some work with the burrito. That turns the draft off still for 20 seconds. The cone shape, however, has changed a bit. This is a whittled down group. Nathan, Pack Dynamics 4.1, we had a great opportunity to see it in play earlier today. It has been a huge, huge game changer, hasn't it? Quality of user experience has really gone up.
100%. I absolutely love the way that the game experience has gone up. 4.1 here, I think, is really causing things to be a little bit more dynamic, and riders feeling like they can get away from the main packs at this point. So the suffering a little bit off the back here. It is going to be a chase, it looks like, from McMaster, excuse me. And at a 10-second cap, I don't think that this is going to be coming back. Angela Roberts now toward the back of this group, though. Is she going to be able to hang on after those early attacks?
So when you talk about this breakaway right now, Nathan, you're saying you don't think it comes back, which is, do you see maybe someone like Kolchinski bridging up to her?
Well, we're seeing, I think, excuse me, no, that was one rider off the back. Excuse me. Yeah, one rider off the back, McMaster here, just highlighting, the riders who have put something, some sort of effort into the race. But look at the damage. Summertime, fam. I mean, these are some big names. Katrina Weiss is off the back here. I mean, these are some names that definitely you would expect to maybe be able to make a move like this.
That's why I was thinking they might have been off the front, to tell you the truth. Those are legitimate hitters, aren't they? So it shows you the tempo is just off the charts here in this front group, and the shape of that group tells us the same thing here. There's really three sectors that we talk about: Cliffs Climb, the Corkscrew Castle Climb, and of course the Breakaway Bray. But it's subtly, the Cliffs Climb seems to be one of the areas where we watch for riders to try to make a difference out here. So these are the gladiators of esports right now. That's Kolchinski squarely in the middle of this group. Does she have her entire team? Naomi de Pennington still here? Yes. Does 2024 still have the other three riders besides Kolchinski? I think Aeonian has most of their squad, but not the entire team.
Yeah, we'll double check and see. We can actually get let's go ahead and see from a top-down perspective. That usually can help us a little bit, see who has all been able to make this main squad. And it does look like I'm seeing only 2 jerseys, actually, for 2024. So a little bit of isolation.
It's Riot that has the numbers, at least 3 or 4. There's 4 Riot riders here in this group. And I'm looking at, I think, 16, maybe 17, 18 in this front group. But if Riot certainly looks to me like they're in the best shape now, Nathan, as we finally get a chance to do some inventory here in the shop.
Yeah, and it looks like Riot, of course, always ones to be watching out for in this America's East. Kunsto, excuse me, is that she's going to be able to go off the front there and that is going to be the rider from 2024 to be watching out for. I think that's the sidekick of Kolchinski as they hit the breakaway Bray, but it's a little bit early maybe to be going, as this breakaway Bray is just going to cause a lot of mayhem. Here goes Kolchinski. Kolchinski on the attack here with a feather power up, 9 watts per kilogram kick, and that is the spot to be using to try and put the hurt on. Anybody go able to go across, and Roberts again responds immediately at 10 watts per kilogram.
Madeline Kuntz is a level 52 Zwifter, so she certainly has spent her time. This is going to be Roberts. There's no question. This is a reinvigorated Angela Roberts that we're looking at right now on the mighty Aeonian team. So, all right, let's take a new look at the front. Kolchinski has gone again using that fit, so reloading the power up here. So let's take a look at Roberts. This is a deja vu, to tell you the truth, of a move that went in the early part of this race.
And a little ways off the back here, it looks like the pack on the chase. 3 seconds is the difference. Lieberman now and Kuntz. Kuntz actually on the chase a little bit, interesting enough. On the front, trying to get away, most likely to get involved. Not a rider that definitely doesn't want to miss these breaks, but you have one of these situations where
don't want to drag them up, do you?
Yeah, I mean, what have we seen in a little bit in the Vuelta recently on the men's side of things? We've seen that a lot with the Jumbo Visma team as to like, well, who's the leader and who's going to be taking charge here, and are people going to be chasing things down? And it does look like a little bit of a chase down here at this point. Is it going to make? It doesn't look like it's going to go across though, as Kolchinski and Roberts continue on at 4 seconds. Going to need a lot more firepower than just a 5 watt per kilogram kick to try and make that happen. So. Looks like that maybe going up the road. I have a feeling there's going to be a wait until the forest and then perhaps a kick out through that falls flat. Best place to try and go across. I have a feeling a couple of ladies are waiting just for that.
Nathan, I think we can start nailing this down, though. Clearly, the OTR team has gone to a different level, without a higher level of racing, no question. Riot is back where they want to be. We've some epic battles between Riot and Kristen Kolchinski's Virginia Blue Ridge 2024 team over the last few seasons. As a matter of fact, some of the very best racing has happened right in this group. But ATP, Nathan, they are really part of this conversation now. They've always been thereabouts, but I have a feeling that they're going to be in that group that has a shot for the overall win after the 6 races that make up this first ZRL season of 23-24.
100%. Now 6 seconds up the road. Kolchinski continues to make the work happen here. Now, as you can see, Lieberman getting a little bit uncomfortable with the distance, as well as Sarah Bishop here from OTR. 163 beats per minute coming from the rider from OTR on that, Scott, with the DT Swiss wheels. Interesting pick here coming from this rider, as the difference here, we were looking at it yesterday a little bit in some of our deep dives into what bike selection should go with. And this is kind of that in between. I might want to get into a breakaway. I might want to still have something that could win a sprint, or at least be competitive in a sprint. It's still up for debate as to whether or not some of those tests out there in climbing versus flats really tell you a whole lot about acceleration in a sprint when it comes to the frames and the wheels. But what it definitely tells you is that this rider was not exactly sure if they wanted to fully commit to something that's just all about breakaway situations, because on the flatter courses like the Rolling Highlands, like this, with their just speed is the main culprit, I really think that the Venge plus the disc is the fastest of the fast. But as you can see here, Bishop going that kind of in between.
A lot of Tron bikes or concept bikes out here.
Oh, Dave.
It could take a pull from Kolchinski.
Straight up. Oh, no. Wow. That's a straight up.
That's some serious beef going on between these two here.
Should we send this? We need to send this on over to Crit Drama and just straight up like, hey.
No kidding. I give Roberts all the credit right here. And she is absolutely showing us the mentality needed of a bike racer, and particularly a sprinter, where Kolchinski's saying, come on, take a pull, let's go.
Oh my goodness, there's some serious drama. I mean, Katrina Weiss now.
Well, that's her teammate. To be fair, her teammate is saying, you're doing what we want you to do. So
yeah, she is. She is.
Yeah.
I mean, usually all that would go on within a Discord or in the earphones, but I mean, general chat, we don't have team chats.
That's what you call.
Games, but
That's your teammate having your back there emotionally, spiritually. That text meant a lot there to Roberts, as you do when you're kind of being called out on something. You want your teammates to say, nope, you stay right there. M. Nyquist from the Riot team seems to be monitoring the front. You can see the chase group now, what we'd call the peloton, just stalking behind this two rider group that clearly are butting heads right now. This is great. Bike racing was never meant to be everybody holding hands, singing "Kumbaya" as we went down the road. This is competitive racing, and esports is the real deal. These riders are not here to play around. Kolchinsky, who is established herself as she's represented the United States 4 times on the World Championship team at this point. And Nathan, I don't know that she's really gone outside of the top 10. So she's been one of over the modern era of esports racing since COVID. Kolchinsky has been one of the 3 strongest Americans. I don't think that anybody would really argue that.
No, you're 100% correct there. Now, what's interesting is that Kolchinsky is not pulling away here at this point,
Well, she's
covering
given
the
up.
moves. So
Or
Roberts
not
is
giving
covering
up,
the
but
move. This is
she's
interesting to me
neutralizing
because
Kolchinsky.
is she going to try and drop Roberts? I think that's what's going to be happening here. Now they're going to start fighting a little bit.
She needs to.
Yeah, and she needs to, because I think Roberts may be able to beat her in a sprint straight up here. So
Give her a
without the
little
work,
terrain.
though, I have a feeling that this might come back together. And who benefits other than, I mean, Aeonian completely benefits from this situation. They're really playing their cards at this point. And, I get hats off in a way, because Kolchinsky and 2024 have been so dominant with her off the front so often. They've got to figure out a way to deal with this, and this seems to be their tactic.
It's interesting. So Roberts now, what we witnessed earlier today, her Aeonian team really, really savvy. Now, is she better off to try to keep fighting with Kolchinsky and holding on to this wheel, or going back to that next group where she should be able to, is she able to win a group sprint from group 2? It's hard to say. Right now, though, she's elected to continue to stay with Kolchinsky. I like her mindset, no question. Kolchinsky is surging and backing off, and at any moment she's just going to snap like a pit bull, right? There's not going to be a toggle switch from Kolchinsky. It's going to be like that moment, when you watch a lioness stalking the prey and they're super chill and super calm, and then they're not. Well, that's what she's going to be here. And I think Roberts realizes that. We still have a long way to go as well. I mean, we're talking about more than 13 kilometers of racing until this one is done and dusted here, Nathan. So what if you're Kolchinsky? Do you keep dragging her around? Do you have a plan to drop her? The group behind still stays right there. So this is, I could see where in the back of your mind, you're not really exactly sure what to do with this situation.
They are starting to form enough gap here at this point that they may be able to play a little bit of games here. They are out to 10 seconds, so they are working enough that it's still going out. Now, Moraz here from OTR is starting to put in a little bit of work, but again, Kolchinsky continues to play the games enough here with these little surges to keep that gap to go out and go out. So this is going to turn into a situation, if they can continue to gain this time, where Kolchinsky can continue to try and drop Roberts over and over and over and over again, and maybe eventually get this elastic to snap. But it's going to have to be a monster kick as well to try and make it happen.
Right now. Yeah, she's going right now. I think that Kolchinsky's going to just go ahead and throw a little more coal on the fire, as she could see that she had her on the ropes. Every time Kolchinsky doesn't get up and out of the saddle, but you are seeing that from Roberts, and that just shows a little. It's not her. Just not desperation, but she's having to really redouble her effort, try to get back in the slipstream, and then it kind of rolls out a little bit. She's having to make that effort again. But is she getting far enough off the front that she's going to be good for silver anyways? They still, Nathan, though, with over 12K to go, this is a risky battle that she's involving herself in right now, talking about Robert's perspective. Kolchinsky's going to do what Kolchinsky's going to do at this point.
Yeah, and as you can see here at a pretty steady 20 seconds now, Dave, it continues to go out, which kind of surprises me, actually.
Kolchinsky, yeah. I mean, if she's going to sit, we're talking about KK at this, well, right now she's really backing off. But, I mean, the load that she's taking on is not heavy enough. I mean, she really could be eating her victory pizza right now, breathing through her nose at this point, and she's still getting this kind of advantage. And that's why, she is an absolute legend in esports. The amount of experience that she has, the body of work that Kolchinsky has, I don't know of any other rider, man or woman, that's put in as much effort to become excellent in this sport. But Angela Roberts has got to feel great. To be honest, Nathan, this is something that I wouldn't have anticipated. You look at all the other riders in this field, though, and Angela Roberts is the one that had the courage, the heart, and the ability to go with Kolchinski today. And she's riding with a lot of courage, is the perfect word.
It really is. Yeah, definitely. So with a solid 17-second gap, we'll see if this is able to stick. They are starting to play a little bit of games and come down here and there. Look at the front end of the main pack. It doesn't look like the rest of the riders are all that interested in making chase because you have to sacrifice a lot at this point to try and bring this back. Now, my question is whether or not Riot is going to do anything about this because they are the main ones, I would feel like, that have lost out in this situation with the numbers that they have.
Let me roll some numbers past you, however. So if you have, let's just say it'd go either way, but Roberts and Kolchinski take first and second. What happens, though, if Riot ladies go third, fourth, and fifth? If you look at the points table, that would immediately move them into the lead as we start working down further through the top 10 and start adding in the points for the team. So for them, very similar to what we saw Aeonian realizing earlier today. But Aeonian is doing the same thing. They've got a rider up the road and only one in that group. So it is Riot if they can make a big play. And maybe Madeline Kuntz here knows that she, this is a great way to avoid that problem. And she's now solidly sitting in third. She's not bringing anyone with her, so no reason to throw any shade on her. We talked to the broadcast that 5 meters behind your rear wheel is where no real draft exists. So she is in the clear. This is a solid bridge attempt. If she goes up and joins Kolchinski, this will be phenomenal.
100%. So now 3 seconds. Now this is where things get dangerous for Aeonian. If this goes across, Madeline Kuntz is going to be and this is amazing actually if Kuntz gets across because now Kolchinski can sit up and say, okay, my teammate's coming across and we're going to go 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 until we get somebody away. And at that point, if Angela Roberts can follow those wheels over and over and over again, hats off to her as they're going to have, it looks like another 10K to go, 10K to go, 1 to go, 1 to go, 1 to go in just a moment here as they hit the breakaway brace. So Kolchinski sat up and now she's speeding up. They got 7 seconds and now we got a breakaway group of 3, but 2:20.24. The bridge up has been amazing for him.
Yeah, this is unfortunate for Roberts. She does so much work to try to neutralize Kolchinski, and Kolchinski has the cavalry arrive. Go ahead and remember now that Madeline Kuntz has huge talent. You know how quickly she went.
They look like twins. They look like twins, really Dave. I love this. How they look like twins. The only way you tell the difference is the felt versus the
She's giving hair tips. Yeah, this is, and Kolchinski's definitely crafted her image on the bike. She takes this seriously, right? Those pink socks aren't just by chance. That height is exactly right. See the feather power up. We know that the burrito and feather are in play. This is a command performance. Earlier today, Nathan, Aeonian was the squad that really put on a clinic. Right now, 2024, they're doing it in real life. I mean, how about Marlies Mejias sweeping at the Gateway Cup just last week? So that's incredible. This is incredible. I'm really blown away as we take a look at the Vanguard right now. It really is the queen and her guard at this point. As for Roberts now, absolutely no reason to put your nose in the wind. Hold on. At worst, you're going to get third place points. They're going to stop. Hopefully, they're going to stop attacking you. I don't really think that they're going to see a reason. There will be attacks, but it should be in the final couple of K. It doesn't matter. This is a points-based competition, scratch race today. So there is no intermediate sprints. There's no other bonification that can be earned here. So I think that Kolchinski will be reasonable and be happy enough with the win. That's the most that she can get as far as points go. There is no extra credit in today's exam.
This is now going to be a serious battle for Angela Roberts as you see her sandwiched in between these two. And yeah, I mean, if she can hang on, the question is going to be how hard can they kick and can they get rid of her with those kicks? Because she has been put on the back foot a couple of times. And now using that burrito there in a moment. Now both
don't care. She goes right around that
Kolchinski has burritos. Both of them do as well at this point. I didn't see them use them, interesting enough. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with them because they just collected one. So we know that they have them. We'll see what they do with them with 1 lap to go.
They say the opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. And I have a feeling that that might be what Angela Roberts is going to feel from these two ladies, is an indifference right now. This is a Jumbo Visma moment, as they say. The team, just these dominating ladies here, they don't need to sweat Roberts at this point if they're going to be taking first and second place points. And at the end of the day, the maximum that your team can collect, even talking about Kolchinski, she'll be wanting to win outright for pride, or maybe she wants to see her teammate Madeline take the win here today. Either way, the most they can walk away with from today is 20 points, and it certainly looks like they have got the bullseye squarely in sight at this point. These laps are at 8.9K each as we move into the finale here. These are our three leaders. Again, these women are not coming back at this point. For me, Roberts has done enough now as well, Nathan, that even if she has to unhook from this group, she at worst is going to get third. But there's going to be a barrage from Virginia Blue Ridge 2024, especially after she puts up the text that I'm a sprinter. Well, guess what? You're going to get a chance to find out how the Blue Ridge ladies sprint, Angela, because they won't be too happy about that comment. And they'll try to prove
well, here's the thing. Roberts, though,
I give her credit for it.
Give her credit because honestly, that's what put her on the map. Angela Roberts is her sprint. It really is. She's got the build of a sprinter amongst the ladies. She's a little bit taller. She's got that like lever with a good kick. And, I think I don't know how newer to the sport she is, but from what I've known of being newer to the Zwift community and watching her live, she's had a few live cams on for the sprints that she's been throwing down, and she has got one of the best kicks among them. And so, Aonia is a great pickup for her, and amongst two monsters like Kolchinski and Madeline up front here, she's doing exactly what she needs to do. And now they're starting to put the hurt on because I think they know that. I'm not sure that they can win out against her outright. So here goes Kuntz off the front here, and she's just going to block Kolchinski at this point and then maybe try and jump across.
Angela Roberts also lives in Seattle. And all right, I love
burrito. Oh, Kolchinski now, but Roberts says, I don't care. Goes right on by, jumps on the wheel. No, that's an area of effect, though, so there's still no draft. Still no draft around at this point. It is area of effect behind. So
cold shape behind. So she's in it now. She would be feeling that right now, but it's over. So Angela Roberts is weathering the storm. They're going to have a hard time shaking her. Using that pit bull analogy again, she's like one that's chomped onto a T-bone steak, and now
188 though, Dave. Oh man,
she's all in, man. Yeah,
this is tough. She is really scraping the barrel here at this point, Dave. I have a feeling to just hang on, and they're waiting for the moment of the elastic to snap. We'll see what she can do, but if she can make it to those final couple of kicks, it's got just another half lap, and Roberts may be able to take down that which is the dominant force in East that usually 2024.
Either way, she is going to collect a lot of points today. Now, I don't see her falling outside of third place. So this is a great job by a tenacious Angela Roberts here. So the problem is you got two heavy hitters now who are just kind of 1-2, as again, this is going to be Madeline Kuntz that we're looking at, the 2024 rider. She's not brand new to the team, Nathan, but this young American is relatively new to the squad, and certainly her best days are ahead of her.
Yeah, this is interesting to see that what happens here is Kuntz gives a little bit of a punch off the front, and Kolchinski goes to the back, sits on Roberts, and says, you got to chase that down. So smart. Look at her, 1.5 watts per kilogram.
She's
trusting her teammate at this point.
Yeah, and what Kolchinski's hoping for, I'm imagining, is that Kuntz is able to go out and get 8 seconds here, and then Kolchinski will attack and go up and ride with her and bridge. They'll ride together to the finish and hold hands as they go across the line. I really think that that's the forward-thinking game plan that they've got right now, and it's certainly working, isn't it? I expect Kolchinski in the next tick, 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 boom. She's going to attack the next time the road goes uphill, is my guess.
Do you think that's what's going to happen here, or is she going to trust to go toe-to-toe and let Kuntz go?
I
You
don't
know,
think
and
so.
because at this point they win. If they don't chase her down, they win and they get those points. And maybe later Kolchinski tries to drop Roberts, or rather than like try and make it 2 really really hard kicks or 3 hard kicks, but allow Kuntz to get enough distance for the outright win. Because if it ends up in a situation where Robert keeps on being on Kolchinski's wheel while she tries to go, she gets dragged up and then sprints for a win. So do you feel? I feel like they're going to give her the distance for the outright win, and then Kolchinski, trusting her ability, is going to go head to head with Roberts, or what do you think, Dave?
Well, okay, one I mean, absolutely astute, Nathan. I can't argue with you there, but I do think so. Lieberman is now sitting 16 seconds in front, and at any moment, I do expect Kolchinski to attack her and not leave it late. But
Kuntz, not Lieberman. Kuntz.
what So, right, Madeline Kuntz, I'm talking about. I was saying that
Okay.
Kolchinski attacking back with Roberts is where I'm really
Gotcha.
expecting the action to happen. Absolutely, yeah. At this point now, Kuntz either wins this race or gets second with her teammate. There's no other scenario that I could imagine. They're down to just over 4K.
There it is,
racing,
Dave.
and
What you called
this is
for.
it.
Yep.
Yeah, here she goes
100%.
now. And so, can Roberts withstand this barrage? If she can, it's an incredible ride already from Angela Roberts. It moves into exceptional if she can do it, because Kolchinski's going to push down now on the accelerator, and Roberts attacks her. This is really some fantastic racing for Angela.
Will she continue is the question. I don't think she can drop Kolchinski. She's going to back off because she tries to continue. She's going to be in a lot of trouble if Kolchinski just comes right back to the wheel. But Roberts goes to 6.8. Kolchinski goes to 3.3. Is this the reality? What?
It's incredible. So this is Angela Roberts' greatest moment in esports that we're witnessing right now, as she not only has been able to hold on to that wheel, as she withstands a barrage. Now, again, Kolchinski might be coming back here. Maybe Kolchinski's trying to just give a little bit of a gap and go flying by her so she can't even hold the wheel. But so far, so good for Angela Roberts. I will give credit where it's due, and this is the best Roberts that we've ever seen. She's going to be a force this season here in the ZRL. Is Kolchinski playing with her? I mean, she's making nearly 7 watts per kilo, now more like 6 watts per kilo here. She's certainly not off the gas, and here it is. Is this the move?
Back together?
Not really.
I have a feeling that this is pretty evened up right now at this point, Dave. I really do. I have a feeling these two are going toe to toe and are just unable to shake each other. For a moment there, I think Angela Roberts believed she could do what seemed the impossible, which that would be to break KK on a course that she may have been thinking she was going to walk away on, perhaps. This is monster effort by these two. Head to head, absolutely love the action going on here. Kuntz, though, with 17 seconds, I think is going for the win. The awesome team play here from 2024 to take down the W. She is not coming back, so the battle is for second behind, and then the battle for the lesser placings, fourth and below, is being led out by Lieberman and Bishop behind there for ATP and OTR.
Yeah, at this point now, credit where it's due. Madeline is in a steady state effort, and it's unimaginable that she doesn't hold on to win this race. She does benefit from tactics, as does every racer. Tactics and strategy are as important as physical ability in the sport of cycling and esports, as much as in real life, no doubt. Kolchinski's really, I think, Nathan, we've seen a whole new Kristen Kolchinski as far as a teammate. I don't know if a couple of years ago she would have been able to wrap her mind around being such a great teammate, because clearly Angela Roberts' mission here was to mark Kolchinski all the way to the finish. She didn't take the bait, but also maybe smart. This is how she has a chance to get second here today. And it's always going to be about getting the maximum bonification, or the maximum number of points that you can collect. This is the first time in ZRL history that we've had a scratch race, just dropping the flag and racing to the finish line. We were joking that I guess it is a points race at the end of the day, but all of the points are at the finish line. So I might give, even though Madeline has been incredible, I still think that Angela Roberts is in the conversation for Racer of the Day here.
Yeah, 100%. And, you know, it does seem to me that Roberts had marked Kolchinski. I think you're right about that, knowing that she's one of the strongest riders out there. And so perhaps was trusting that she could be in it for the win, you know. And then the other thing here is that chasing Kuntz down would play to their strategy, and she might get third, right? She would just end up in third place if she played to VBR's strategy here. So because she didn't play to VBR 2024 strategy, this saves her the ability. It's kind of a middle ground. It's not playing completely off. It's
agree.
Letting that, okay, I'm not going to chase that. That just ends up where I end up losing completely, because I'm going to waste energy. Kristen's going to come over the top of me and I'm gone. I'm already on the limit. I'll settle for a sprint for second.
These two, yeah, well put, Nathan. These two effectively, as the tactics played out, Madeline was take perfect advantage of that. She was strong enough to bridge out of the peloton. She came up to these ladies. It didn't take but a few minutes before she went off solo and has been out there for a while now. And it's not going to be long until she collects the win, as she'll be well inside of 2K. This is where Kolchinsky becomes really, really dangerous, like a pit viper right now. But all right, Roberts is showing that she is here for it. This is the greatest effort that we've seen out of Angela Roberts in this sport. Kolchinsky, though, using that feather. If she can't get away now, Nathan, I think Roberts just might hold on.
Interesting to see here. Yep, and this is a feather power up very early. Has Angela used her feather? I don't think so.
Unbelievable that she now has the power up advantage. Now that's not going to be Madeline. The rider here is going to be from another of just further back in the categories. That's going to be again the second and third on course with Kolchinsky and Roberts. Robert in the blue purple kit, Kolchinsky in the VBR right on the front here, not chasing her teammate back, just trying to turn the screws a little bit on Roberts here as they're coming up quickly on 1K to go, just outside of that, Nathan. So yeah, Kolchinsky isn't going to leave it to the last 100 meters, although she's gotten much better at finishing races.
We're looking for Madeline, but at this point, she's so far ahead. It's hard to find her on course, actually, without losing our coverage here. So we're going to do our best to find Madeline back on course as she comes across the line. She is in first place. Kolchinsky gave a go, though, to try and make something happen. Her heart rate's coming back down from 170 to 172. It was all the way down in the 130s, I think, at one point before that attack. They're going to take the left-hand turn and have less than a K to go in just a moment here, and we should see Madeline Kuntz making her way into the breakaway break. Kolchinsky kicks again as she gets into the final K section. And there's Madeline Kuntz, 48 seconds up, about to cross the finish line for Virginia Blue Ridge 2024. There it is with the blue kit on and the pink Tron. Nice job for Madeline Kuntz to take it down. But Angela Roberts now going on the aggression with the feather power up over the top of Kolchinsky. She's got the gap, Dave. Can she hold it to the line?
Well, this isn't over, but it is really impressive as they cross swords here. So again, as Madeline takes the win, this is a shocker. Welcome to the major leagues now, Angela Roberts. This Aeonian stalwart has clearly done a tremendous amount of work to do what she's doing right now, and it's starting to look like she's going to hold on. Kolchinsky's making one last dig to try to make the catch.
I think it's going to happen. Kolchinsky! One last kick to the line. It's going to come right to the line, Dave. Can Roberts kick again? I'm not sure she can. I think it's all said and done. Kolchinsky pulls it out right at the line. I can't believe it actually was able to make it happen. And here comes the charge from behind. And Nyquist with the kick. This is the battle for fourth. And it looks like Riot. 1, 2. That's going to be fourth, fifth, and sixth place for Riot. Those are major points to the line.
ATP. So Riot might take the day. Definitely hold on, folks. Riot with third, fourth, and fifth. That's a tremendous number of top points on the table. Yes, we see a 1-2. That might be enough, to tell you the truth. Nathan Kolchinsky coming through for second. It was like watching a cat playing with a mouse in the corner of the barn, wasn't it? As she gave Roberts just enough rope, but then I can just picture that classic Kolchinsky style as she will be on a massive gear, making incredible watts to make that catch. We're going to go back now and take a look at this. Is where I honestly thought Roberts had it here, Nathan.
It definitely looked like she was going to hold on to it. Just before this, Kuntz was able to hold on for that 48 seconds. Nice job by VBR 2024 to take that down. And I thought Roberts was going to do it here. I thought it was done. She went just so early in the final kick to the line. Kolchinsky, what the patience from her, like you said, so amazing. Like you said, playing with the prey here. 8 watts per kilogram at the last moment.
And then just drives the dagger home, right when it matters. She only led that sprint for the last 5 meters. That's Kolchinsky, and I have to give her credit. Obviously, she and Madeline came in with the strategy and the tactics. Now, is it going to be enough to overcome? I have a strong feeling that the third rider for Virginia Blue Ridge 2024 is going to be the one that gives them enough points to be on top of the table with the 20 points that goes to our top team. 19 for second, 18 and on down. It's a linear list as we'll work our way down. ATP, they were the next best team after the three that we've talked the most about, that being Aonian, the team of Angela Robertson. All being said, I mean, I guess you have to give ride of the day to Madeline Kuntz, right? But how about Angela Roberts today? Kolchinsky, we've seen this from her now for what seems like half a decade. But these two, especially Angela Roberts, very, very impressive for Aonian. But taking a look, Nathan, Madeline on top of the table.
Man, on top of the table, VBR 2024, take it down for first and second place. They really had to work for that one, didn't they, Dave? Angela Roberts for Aonian Dynamics comes on through for third. Nice job to her. And then it is going to be M. Nyquist with Natalie Smith and Claire Clammin going fourth, fifth, and sixth. Rachel Lehman for ATP Racing Stingers. They're going to be in seventh. Angel Martin, Aonian Dynamis. In eighth, it's going to be Meredith Moran and Sarah Bishop. That is your top 10 here for this ladies' race.
I don't know if we'll have a chance to get.
Well, this is really quickly, like, this is preliminary, everybody. This is not. Yeah, I'm not even going to show at this point because they're not updating currently, and a lot more racers need to finish. So I'm not going to show the league standings at this point. But we are going to jump on over to this. Actually, this is going to be the C category. In with the C category here for the men in Americas, and this is going to be America's. Excuse me for 1 second. Make sure I got this correct. East Division 1 C's, actually. And so we're jumping in with the C men here to give a little bit of extra, broadcast time to across categories. We're actually in with one of the interesting TikTok inspirations, actually, of Zwift. You wouldn't believe how many views this guy gets over on TikTok, actually. Danny Enzo has been doing content here and there, and I just wanted to jump in with him and give it a little bit of a shout out. This guy has been doing live streams over there now recently, as well as putting out like kind of your like, hey, general fitness, you want to get fit and just have fun gaming. That's his whole shtick. It's really great, actually, and he's been doing voiceovers in his races and coming along really, really well with all these different races that he's doing. He's got all these little, all these really great, well, I shouldn't say little, but they like battles going on as well within the streaming and C racing community over and over again, week in and week out. It's really great to see them. It looks like he's a part of a chase group. He was in the lead group a little while ago, but it looks like he's gotten dropped off at this point. And is a little ways back in the groups at this point, but going to move forward in the rest of the C category. They've got less than a lap to go at this point. They're in a chase group that I think is well over a minute back now, but we'll try and get their sprint in a little while here. We're going to keep on moving our way forward here and see if we can find the front end of this crew.
Good size group, no doubt. I was just looking at Danny Enzo online, Nathan. He does have a big footprint there for sure. So it looks like you found the Tête de la Corsa as the grinders are here. 4-rider, maybe 5-rider group at this point, is they're down to, let's call it 4K. Well, not 4.5K to go. That's your front group.
Yeah, it looks like for this, it's going to be Salvo from the Grinders. B-Pop, loving the name there from the TFC. Gabrielle there, as well as Krumel, and one other coming out of Brazil, Renato Sartorio, is going to be out there as well. We're going to have to get Gabriela in here with some Portuguese to help us out with the commentary, so we can actually serve our Portuguese crowd, as it looks like this is going to be and then Bobby's in there as well for the Dirty Grinders. So they've got a couple up there, it looks like, for the Grinders. This is going to be the
permanently
Canadian.
Gone. You take a look at the peloton behind them.
Look at that. They're charging. Nice eye there on that, Dave. And it looks like the man in pink here is saying, hey, Grinders, we got to grind. Here. We got to go because there's a pack chasing us down.
Really good time when you feel that the group you're in is starting to bog down and look at each other. Peloton starting to bear down on you. It's great to go ahead. It's like the rats leaving the sinking ship as it pulls into port, right? Might as well just go for it on your own now, because this group doesn't seem to be as cohesive as it was a little while ago. As we're picking up the front of the race, they are now down to 4K.
I don't know if they're going to do it, Dave. I think that they're starting either. Hugo Z from Zwift Brazil, Zwift Brazil team here. They're making the moves now, as you can see, and I'm absolutely loving this. This kit is a perfect Brazil kit.
Sharp,
Yeah.
Now that looks like, very modern, great look. And they've got 4 riders on the front of this group. It's Hugo taking the big pull right now they're getting closer and closer. They could smell the embrocation coming off the virtual legs of the riders in front of them now. So they're going to close this gap down. We're going to have a reset, Nathan. Holy moly. So the
I think
cat
so. Well, they got
sees.
it. They have to chase though. That's 6 seconds. It's a
Yeah,
little.
every now and then they get close and then ease up, don't they?
Yeah, and that's
So
the thing. That's the
follow
thing
through.
with the new pack dynamics is you can't mess around too much. If you mess around too much, it goes away real quickly because the pack doesn't bring it back as easily anymore. So now to the front, looks like it's going to be Herd on the front now, making another move, trying to really get some cohesion going here. As that is going to be, is that Herd mentality? No, the McFall, and then also McFall here from the Dogs. That's going to be a dirt team now. Also donning from the C category with a ZRL helmet. This is a committed racer when they got that on 7 seconds back and tried to drive the pace.
Yeah, absolutely. The coveted ZRL helmet right there, right front and center. So there's no doubt this has been an FT. This should be National FTP Day, Nathan, as we have seen so many riders setting it. It's the competition. It brings out that last little bit that you're never going to find training. And that's one of the things that makes esports racing so special. So the Dogs are chasing hard, coming over the top. This is a
TFC.
good sign now. Yeah, that's going to be the Friday Criterium squad, another legendary team. I think he's got a teammate right behind, or is it? But either way, it's getting spicy as they come up on 3K to go.
C category, these boys, they always got the best avatar looks. Look at this guy. He's got the massive beard going on here, and Hawkeye
here
from TFC across. You'd think it's the A team. I mean, come on, let's go. Jay Beast and Hawkeye making some moves. You got 3 off the front, trying to close it down. It's only 4 seconds up at this point in C categories, making it exciting for us today, Dave.
Yeah, this is how you race your bike. No question. These guys having at it. It is an absolute throwdown as they are hightailing their way to the finish line. That catch has not been made, but it's getting closer and closer. You can see a whole bunch of the TFC riders are here. No points have been offered. No points have been scored up until the finish line here. So it's all sitting 2.4K up the road. Nathan, it does really look like we're going to see that catch right in front of our eyes as it's Grupo Compacto or almost. I really shouldn't even say it, as it puts a bit of a jinx on it, I think. But it does look to me like we are going to have a big reset here as they quickly come up on the penultimate kilometer.
Absolutely loving this, Dave. Dave really putting on a show, and it's all going to come back down to like 30 riders together, Dave. Anybody amongst this crew right now can still take the win in the opening round on Rolling Highlands of the Zwift Racing League in this season here. Absolutely loving this opening round as they're putting on a show for us. On the front, in the pink, who's taking this lead here? That is a solid effort going off the front. I'm going to have to try and find our rider. Who is this? Is that going to be Gabrielle for the Rowdy team? No, it's DeSalvo for the Grinders going again. Gabrielle from the Rowdy team trying to come across, making it all kinds of rowdy, but it's going to be Price, TFC, Renato. That's your top 4 at this moment. And at the back, there's some suffering going on or some sprinters waiting to pounce.
This is absolutely bananas. We're going to find out who wants to dig the very, very deepest. TFC did a lot of work to bring this back together. Nathan, it is quite a mix up on the front as they're down to 1.5K to go. How about that kitten style from DeSalvo out here? We've got to give him 5 extra watts just for that. The Rowdy rider, Gabrielle, has been one of the riders to watch, no question. All right, this has really been traditionally the launch pad for the final attempt to get away from this group happening right here, right
Rhinos?
now.
Rowdy Rhinos? That's got to be what it is, right? Rowdy Rhinos with the alliteration.
That's what I'm
absolutely
going with.
Love it. It's got to be. Look at the new Herd kit. Look at that with the red and black there on the left-hand side. Watch out for them in the sprint, but again, on the front in the pink, DW9 now taking over. Here comes Dirt now with the late attack, perhaps for the Whiskey Dog. Nope, mentality there for Herd as well from Crockford. He's going to back on off, though. They just kind of find themselves where they're at here, as you said earlier, Dave. Sometimes you're just there.
That was the name of that we were looking for. Sometimes you're just there, and that's going to be right now all of these riders not wanting to be on the very front, but close to it as we're down to about 750 meters of racing remaining. It's a huge group, and Nathan, it looks like we're going to have a legitimate reduced group sprint here.
100% on the front is going to be in pink. I believe that is going to be the Grinders again. McFall now with Dogs also trying to take over. Renato there for the Brazilian team. Hugo also there for ZTBR. Gomez there for the Herd team now making his way to the front of 5.8 watts per kilogram and now 5.6. The pop is going to start coming through with some pop and watts though, perhaps for TFC out of the US of A. Here come the feather power-ups and now the stampede begins.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see just about everybody using their feather to maximum effect. It's going to make a huge difference. And there you go. The first rider going clear. TFC going to try to come up over the top, and it looks like it's going to be Price who's able to do it, but not getting the separation that he needs, Nathan. All right, it is on like Donkey Kong here with 200 meters to go.
Painter from Rhino on the front that looks like going to be able to make it happen. Is it going to be Jay Painter? But here comes Netcham. Netcham from the Steeds right to the line, but I think Painter was able to make it happen. And Renato Pisatario followed by Price. That's the situation out here today for first through fourth. We'll see if we can get a replay of that real quickly, but we're going to try and catch some of the groups that are a little ways back in this C category as they come on through, as there's plenty more to go. I mean, this category is massive, Dave. And that's one of the reasons for sure when it comes to the Zwift community, this is the mainstay of the community. Look at how many riders, 109, taking to the start line to grab these points for their teams. Absolutely loving it. At the front end, we just saw amazing gallop, though.
It makes all the sense in the world that you should see the largest group of riders in that C category. Imagine if there were as many A's as there were C's. That would mean that something wasn't right in the ascension to racing in the very elites. The fact that it's exactly the way it is speaks to the quality and the quantity that we've got out here with ZRL right now. There is no doubt that these C's just absolutely love racing with each other, as these guys are down to 1.5K to go. The points go deep in the ZRL. I don't know that these guys are going to be in the points now, but you might as well race like you are. You want to build good habits in sport. They say that repetition is the mother of learning, and you definitely want to. Again, these two, they should sprint like there's points on the line. Even if there are.
Yeah, and all the way down to actually, so 81st through 83rd get 2 points. So there's still some points that you can get more than 84th plus. So outside of 84th plus, it's 1 point. You still get a point, though, for sprinting to the line around that. So there's some points that matter here if it's coming to 1 or 2 points differentiation between some of these teams. Fourth gets 40. And it drops pretty significantly down to 20th. And then from 20th, you still get, 11th through 15th gets 20. Down, I mean, there's a lot of differentiation. So these down into the 70s even really do matter.
Yeah, and a lot of times when you break ties, it comes down to a rider like this and that 1 point that moves you off of the snide, as they say. So absolutely, it is worth it out here. And that's why these guys come to ZRL, is to race their bikes and race their hearts out. So this is going to be Yavo, the Clo rider here. As we look at these two, they're about a little more than 500 meters of racing remaining for these guys.
They're trying to hold on to, it looks like, for this scratch racing points position. Now, 72nd to 74th gets 5 points. They're trying to hold on to 5 points. There's 5 points up the road for Steven here from Coalition, and he's trying to not be outside of it because 75th ends up with 4 points. That's 1 point that he's trying to grab back. 5.1 watts per kilogram. Is he going to be able to do it?
He knows it might make a difference. I love the fact he's got someone right behind him here. That's going to be one of the Century Road Club of America riders, another one of our OG clubs out here who looks like he might come up and over the top now as they're into the last bit.
There's a lot of points that might change right here, Dave. If these boys don't get to the line quick, they've got a pretty big chase on the way now at this point. Skip here, trying to come over the top. No, Skip's going to scam the points from him. Skip Dudas for the Grindies now makes it happen. Danny Enzo's also there as well from Coalition, making some points happen. I mean, that's an extra. He came through in 75th or 76th. So instead of getting just one back in that 84th or so, you end up with a 75 to 77th. You get 4, 3. Those are big differences there for those Coalition, that Coalition team, as well as the Dirt team, I think, grabbing a couple extra points there.
This is a great example of how it's not just about the elite racers in esports. This C group races with a ton of heart. They have an absolute blast. Some of the best, as you said, avatars that we see, and team names as well come out of this group. So I'm glad we had a chance to check in with our C's on the first race of the season. As we start reviewing the data, as they say, the back-end API don't lie, and wrapping up things for today at Rolling Highlands. We'll be heading next week out to the McCurry 40 for our first points race of the season. The 6 races that make up the 23-24 season will move into the first team time trial. There are 2 of them, but Roule Mapou will be the first over in France. Then heading to Yorkshire for Tour of Tuit Well. Most folks saying that is undeniably the toughest day of racing we'll see. Temples and Towers, another points race there. for race 5, and then the finale will be a team time trial. WTRL Speciality, the greatest London flat. But Nathan, there's our results. Good to see the Ovalosio team is back.
Yeah, we'll just real quickly, since they are in this order, we'll talk about what happened in the A race in the category we were just following along with, and that is going to be Velocio. Nice job to them with Neil and Mike Morris at the front. HDFU with Mitchell Kilborn, and it's going to be Olivia Gagnon there, Gagnon like a canyon, excuse me. Yeah, Gagnon like they taught me that one really early on. Rhymed
Or
that
just
one.
refresher course.
Yeah.
Refresher course, yeah.
Coalition Frenzy with Hanyun Zhang. It's going to be Andres Daigle. Peter West there coming on through for Alpha Collective. Warren Muir for Wahoo Lacole Americas. And then it's going to be Tony Gumble with next presented by Short Americas East. And Evan Haney. That is for HTFU. That is going to be your top 10 in that A category. And then in the B category, let's see if we can click on over to it. It's going to load up there. Duncan Johnson, he's going to lead things out.
Yeah, thanks. You can always go to WTRL, the World Tactical Racing League .racing to find out more about what's going on or even to get involved in racing yourself. But you're right, Nathan. Duncan Johnson on top of the table for OTR, the Boost edition. Derek D'Angelo for Draft B has his teammate right behind him. That's a good sign for the Draft B guys. Is Derek D'Angelo silver spot, Ned Bowen bronze, Juan Pablo Jimenez Carvalho is going to be in fourth. I believe that's the Colombian flag. I'll have to confirm that. And I guess we're saying SWAT is the team there in the hip stylings. James Stevens in fifth for Team CLS Big Rigs. It's Michael Gortemoller of Dirty Ducks B in sixth. Taylor Gunsulin in seventh for OTR Boost. Casey Schum in eighth. Another one of the Dirty Watch, the originals riders. Then over the edge B's has Chris Zhang in ninth, and then rounding out our top 10 is Brad Patnaud for OTE Cyclopass. So that's your top 10 in the B's.
And in the C category that we did cover just now, we saw Jacques Painter able to take it down for the RR Nuclear Rhinos. It was Michael Nechimia for the herd of Rusty Steeds, and it's going to be Renato Sartorio Ramos for the ZTR BR Pataxo. It's going to be Mike Price for TFC X-Force and Tim Poppert coming on through for TFC X-Force as well. Eric Nieminen for the RR Nuclear Rhinos. And then it's going to be Ryan Deadpool. Nice job to Deadpool. Good to see him out there. Long-time viewer, actually. TFC X-Force. Jose Miguel Chacon Araya for Gavia 88 Academy. Joe DeSalvo for the Dirty Grinders. And Gabriel Angizola for the RR Rowdy Rhinos. And the D category still hanging out on course most likely. And for all the results, head out over to WTR.racing for the results, league standings. We will take a look at all the league standings for the coverage that we do next week. We'll also talk about the ZRL and how things have played out for the first week on the wrap this coming week. I'm actually going to be traveling for the wrap actually this week on tomorrow. We'll be driving up to Schwamagon Forest area. So we'll be doing a remote wrap with Anna producing actually on Thursday, but we'll have all your coverage and be on the watch out. I have a feeling tomorrow is going to be a really big day for Zwifters. Just as a heads up, everybody. Wahoo had some stuff go bam, bam. Watch out. I think tomorrow, just watch your news feeds tomorrow, and we'll talk all about all the things in the news feeds come Thursday. Dave, thanks a lot. It's been a long day, I know. I'm gonna go race my bike now, though. It's time for me to get my trainer warmed up, get the legs warmed up, put some food in and some water or something, because I gotta race America's West. You guys can check out all the Twitch feeds that are currently going on. I'll be live on my Twitch channel. I know a lot of the guys I'm racing with are going to be live on their Twitch channels. So streaming all day long. We've got it going already starting here on September 12th, Dave. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Good luck tonight. Good luck at Schwamagon. And Nathan, I'll see you next week for more great racing. Tremendous effort, everybody.
Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. Make sure to ZwiftCommunityLive.com. Sign up for our newsletters. You can see when all the broadcasts are, and hit those follow buttons. Subscribe, like, comment. Helps out the channel a lot. We appreciate all you in the community. And from Dave and I and everybody at Zwift Community Live, right on.